So, um, once I was enrolled into the world of cancer with my personal experience, um, I was absolutely horrified at what I saw. Not the treatment. I'm not talking about that. The NHS were doing wonderful things. They still are. There's a lot of criticism going around, but they're still doing wonderful things. And the NHS were doing wonderful things. But I was absolutely shocked at the total lack of support for people like myself going through cancer, coming out the other end. Look, many people don't. I have a privilege. I'm privileged. I've come out, or I'm coming. I'm living a life which is reasonable. A lot of people would be happy to do that. A lot of people don't get it. But after that, I was absolutely shocked at what I saw in society and, I'll be honest, in the cancer support world. I didn't see any practical support. All people wanted to do was give me booklets, give me citizens' advice, telephone number. It was like really that period. I mean, I had more than a year, I suppose. Some people have a lot more than that, by the way. But where I was out of life normal, I was in hospital most of that time, backwards and forwards to hospital, and it was like, okay, Mr. Lewis, now's your time to try and recover. And it was like when I left the hospital, I opened the doors and I was blinded by the light. I was coming back into something that I didn't really recognise because I'd had 24/7 support for so long. I couldn't drive. I had no confidence in the road to drive. It felt all busy and it was a frightening world. Dealing with things like banks and mortgages and the practicalities of life. And by the way, these practicalities are different for at different ages. These problems are different. Young kids going through education, trying to find their love life. Do they tell people they've had cancer? Trying to find a career when they've got cancer. Those are. But as an older man, my problems were different because I needed to earn money. My pension was coming along. I needed to do something with that, right? I needed to find my old relationship with my wife and my kids because I'd become vulnerable. I was the guy who don't get me wrong, my wife, she loves organising things, but I was the guy that people looked to for that life. Take him to a party, he'll shake you up. And I was frightened. I didn't even want to go out. But there was absolutely nothing. These big charities, they talk about what they do. They do very little, to be honest with you, in general terms. I'm sure we'll find people that support them. I'm sure we will. Of course we will. But I'm talking about a general scenario. There was no help with work or anything like that. Relationships, money. All I found was that people wanted to discriminate against me because I'd had cancer. Now, I imagined that there might be, in my pink fluffy world, someone to come and say, "Oh, Chris, bloody hell, that was bad luck, man. You were setting the world alight in your business. Come back and you've got plenty to offer society, right? Come and join us and do this or do that." But no, you've had cancer. No, man. That means you're going to be unreliable. You know what I mean? You're going to want to, every 5 minutes, you're going to have to have treatment. You're going to be sick, right? Talk to your bank. No, don't do that. You tell your bank you've got cancer. What they want to do is take the mortgage back, right? Any insurance company, they don't want to know about it, right? And I was then 52, I suppose, at that time. Not an employer's dream, but I don't want to be employed. I never wanted to be employed. So I'm not looking for an employer, but I was looking from that perspective of other people. Me, I'm a fighter, and I've got great support around me. That enables me to have that confidence because I know where I can go for that support, right? But I'm thinking about those people that don't have that, and that's a majority of this country. They don't have that. So I'm not one to sit by and watch something happen. I just can't do that. I have to get involved. And when I went to, I thought, am I a moaning guy? You know, am I just the one who thinks this should be a whole lot better? So I started in clinic asking people, what are you doing now for a job? How are you finding it? You getting any benefits? What do you need? How is your social situation? Your family scenario. And all I heard, pretty much 90% of the time plus, was their life had got a whole lot worse. Not just physically, but socially. And I thought, this is not right. So I spoke to a few friends of mine, and of course, they're all surprised. They're not in that world. They see the TV adverts and think all these people are all lovely and cuddly, right? But they're not. They're all they are. You're one on the database, and they want you to leave money to them in a will or run a bloody marathon for them. That's all they want to do, right? That's not help. So I had no idea of social media, none. And my friend said, "Oh, you need to be on social media, right?" And they set me up a little website, a really simple little website, not the one I have now, but a really little simple website. And I got going on it. I'm like, wow, this is quite good. And I found the powers of Twitter and blogging and all that sort of stuff. And then life changed for me, for the real positive.
And we got connected on LinkedIn as well. So that's really insightful. And people, like myself, outside experiencing cancer, I'm not having an appreciation of how much of an impact it has on day-to-day life and practicalities and things, and looking after loved ones, doing your work that you're doing previously, and as you said, social life as well, has a huge impact.